Hello YouTube, my name is Marie, and today we're going to talk about the recently concluded K-drama called 100 Days, My Prince. Now, this series is a historical romance about a prince who, through an assassination attempt, loses his memory and ends up living as a commoner or a peasant for about 100 days, and there he is forced to marry one of the country's oldest spinsters? Is that the right word? Well, she's like an unmarried maiden, but she's like old now, so I think spinster is the right word. It might also be a comedy, or at least like categorized as a comedy, but as I'm going to talk about later, I didn't find it all that funny. Starts off with a lot of energy. I think the first 4 episodes had me completely enraptured. The prince character is incredibly smart, and like within those first handful of episodes you see him playing the political game, and that to me was so refreshing because oftentimes it takes a while for, you know, characters to come into their own and like flexing their political muscles, so to speak. And the fight sequences in the beginning are fantastic. They're extremely high energy, they get you going really quickly, and then also they're filmed with an artistic eye, I would say. I really liked the fight sequences, except for they were a tease. A lot of the great things in this show are not the emphasis, so you'll get great political like scheming and maneuvering, except for it's not in there enough to be like, oh, this is a great political show. And the fight sequences are great, but they're not in there enough for this to be an action show. And you're left with this middle section between the prince and this commoner like spinster woman, and you're left with their bickering and their interactions, and it really fell flat for me. I found the female lead, the spinster character, there's a lot more going on with her beyond just being older unmarried woman, but I won't spoil that because I didn't know going in. But I just found her quite grating and very condescending, and I can understand why she was like that. I would probably be like that if I was put in that situation where my newfound husband was totally useless. However, like, watching it, I didn't find it funny. I think some people are gonna find it funny, but it just wasn't my kind of humor. So it's like, for the most part, for the vast majority of the show, I was sitting there kind of thinking like, come on, when's his memory gonna come back? Like, I miss that prince from the beginning who just was no nonsense and just was so delicious, and like his plots and like countering move for move with like the antagonists and all that stuff, and I really liked it, and then I was just left with meh. The best part about the whole middle section is definitely not the blossoming love story between our 2 leads, which I think is what they were going for. What I really loved is like how the director, like the storytelling of him regaining his memory, I thought it was done in such an engaging and very clever way, so he will remember, but not just like a flashback like how they usually do it in shows like this, where you like, you know, he'll just stand there and then it'll flash back to what he's remembering. No, it's like in this show he's reliving it. The show does end strong again, so it's kind of like this meh show that's bookended by really strong writing and just strong action sequences, and so it's like, it's hard for me to recommend it to you or not, because I do think that there's really great potential here, but it's never fully realized. Some of the side characters, actually most of the side characters, I did love. Like all of the other peasants and commoners, there we go, all of their interactions were great. And then our female lead has a brother, and the brother has a relationship with another character, another main character, and I loved all of that. That was actually the romance of the show that I wish I had been watching. Like, I wished we were focusing more on the brother and his story. I'm going to give 100 Days, My Prince a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And even that I do think is generous. I think realistically, it's probably just a solid 3-star show, but because I did love the beginning and I did love the end so much, I think if you like historical romance K-dramas, this is one that you're going to enjoy but probably not remember all that much. Now I'm on the lookout for a new thing to watch. I think I'm going to finish up Mr. Sunshine, and then I am going to try and watch Guardian, a Chinese show. But I would love some recommendations from viewers, like what is currently airing right now that has got your guys' attention and that is good, because I'm kind of out of the loop with it right now. Have a good day, have a good night, bye!